Why the heck am I starting with this screen? Just let me show you. What you hear in the background is Farm Manager 2021 starting right now. And just watch the video RAM usage go up and up and up. Yeah. Welcome to my video to, you could call it everything wrong with Farm Manager 2021, but disclaimers beforehand. I still recommend the game. It's fun to play, it's easy to play, and I spent hours and hours of playing in free mode and testing stuff and being successful. So go ahead, the game is definitely worth the money, but there are still some issues which really need to be fixed. Speaking of to be fixed, let me just remove that distracting window. So, okay. Starting screen, I'm playing in free mode, and we are starting in extreme mode, and maybe I will do a follow-up video on how to survive in extreme mode. But yeah, let's just go ahead and just have a look at some points which definitely need improving. So go ahead. So I tuned down the music a little. So okay, here we are. We start with 100,000 credits. That's not much, and expect a lot of waiting. So, okay, the extreme mode isn't that extreme, to be honest, but when it comes to farming involves at least one field, some sort of crop, a tractor, and a combine. So let's say we want to start with farming in free mode. So, okay, let's create a field. Okay, this is the maximum field size when you first start off. It's 52 by 52 meters, which is 0.27 hectares. I think it's around 0.7 acres, I guess, 0.6, 0.7. I'm a metric guy, so yeah, please forgive me if I don't do the conversion correctly. But if you have a look at the mouse pointer, where my mouse is pointing, and the area which should be highlighted, it's not. I move the cursor, the tip of the cursor, nearly into the next square, and it's highlighted. Then only. And yes, I'm not a native English speaker. So, yeah, first point of improvement, I guess. Fix mouse control. This should have been noticed in internal testing. Please fix that. Oh, okay. Another disclaimer, I did a lot of testing beforehand, so we will start with 48 by 48. It will cost us slightly over 11 grand, and this is our first field. Okay. What do we need next? We need a home for our workers. Let's put you here. And this house will need electricity, so let's connect you up and then put the house. I'll show you why I did this in this specific order. And let's put down this house. If I put down the house first, and then want to try to put a transformer on, let's say, this edge or this edge here, it's close to impossible. So that's why I put it there first. I don't need parking space because the farm building offers 4 spots. That's money which I can save right now. So let's put you up to speed, build the house. The house finished. And we need a worker. Hire. So you have a scroll bar at the right. I'm trying to scroll down with my mouse wheel normally, and it's set to, like, maybe you hear it in the background even. It's set to like 4 lines per click, and it's so painfully slow. Yeah, scrolling, another issue which I don't like, but it's not killing the game. It's something you have to get used to. The other mechanic is left click and kind of swipe up, swipe down. Should be familiar from your smartphone or tablet. So the question is, was this planned as a mobile game? Maybe? Is there a mobile version? I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead. We are playing in extreme mode, so we need the cheapest worker we can get, disregarding profession and so on and so forth. So 3028. Yeah, you are the cheapest one. You are hired. So, and we will drop it even more. And you will work more. 20%. So, okay. Now we have our worker, and we need equipment. Again, we don't have much money. We will lease all the equipment. And we need some crop to grow. Don't go for organic at first. It's twice as expensive as normal crops. So just go for some cash crop. So barley is at 9.3, and I'm using the left click and swipe mechanic right now because scrolling down would be so slow again. So oat is 8.9, grass, you could have multiple harvests, but you then would need a barn. A barn is more expensive than a silo. So go for silo crops. Colza, rapeseed, canola. I really don't know why they chose colza. It's canola, rapeseed. Okay, 9.3, 7.6, 5.5. Oat 8.9. Don't go for poppies. This is normally my cash crop in my other games, but you need a barn. Rice 7.6, soya 8.7, tempting, and wheat 8.3. So barley it is. So let's check again, and we need 37.4 kilograms. So let's say 38. 38. Okay. So now we need to buy some things. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's what happens when recording live. Okay, we need barley seeds. 38. We need fertilizer. 2 maximize our yield. That's 231 kilograms for a 48 by 48 field. I tested it. Don't go for 230. For that 1 kilogram missing, you will pay 2,000 credits. Actually, I don't know why, but test it out for yourself. That 1 kilogram costs you 2,000. Just accept it. And yes, I will do spraying. You could go and risk it not to spray, but let's see how much it costs. So it's 1.5, 1.2, it's 2.7, 2,800, 3,700 credits for the material alone. Let's just put that number down. 3.7 approximately. And yes, I have a second window open with a notepad open. So this is kind of my 21st, 22nd, 25th test. And every test had the same result, by the way. Okay. Now we have that, we are down to 40,000. And guess what? We will need to save money for a parking lot, because we need a combine harvester and a tractor and a trailer and a header, and that doesn't fit in here. And the parking lot is 15,000 and the garage is 20, so 15,000 it is. And we need a silo. The small one doesn't do because we will harvest more than 5,000 units. We will go for the medium one, so this is 2,500. It's 17,500, which you could deduct from that amount, but we want to save the running costs. That's the point why I'm not building it now. So yeah, let's go ahead. We have a worker, we have a tractor, we have a plow. And although she is obviously specialized in beekeeping, she will do fields as well. And now I will not jump to the harvest. There will be a lot of waiting involved, but just to demonstrate how frustrating game mechanics can be sometimes. So now the worker is finished, and I can actually sell the plow and get a cultivator in. Where are you going? Taking the long route. Okay. Are you going to the warehouse and not to the parking lot? I don't know. Pathfinding definitely is an issue in this game. Maybe it's the design of the farmhouse, I don't know. I won't judge. So, and you're finished again. Drop that and get a fertilizer. Oh, and by the way, you cannot skip fertilizing. If you go to field properties and to, let's say, extended information, you can select which type of spraying you want to do, but you cannot skip fertilizing for whatever reason. It could save you money, but it's not an option right now. So, and yes, the pop-up says hire more staff, but I only have one worker. So yeah, and it's again watching the tractor go around. I will show you something in a minute when we come to that, because this takes awfully long. So, okay, we can... Oh, we want that one. And okay, we have tools. So this is our fertilizer spreader with a working width of 4. Then we have a slurry tank with a working width of 4. Seems to be in line, consistent. And then we have the manure spreader with a working width of 10. So, yeah, if the manure spreader can do a working width of 10, why can't the fertilizer spreader or the slurry spreader? I know this is not a simulation, but please be consistent. Because in my other games, I'm going with the manure spreader because it just saves time, especially when you have larger fields, and the fertilizer spreader has to be refilled and the manure spreader has to be refilled as well. The manure spreader is definitely the fast option, but now we need a seed drill and lease it. Not enough stuff, I know. And yes, it takes longer than expected. That's something. This is my first test without a parking lot, actually, because every time I built the parking lot next to the worker house, so that's why I was surprised. So every test is an iteration of the previous one. So let's sell you and get a sprayer. And this one's fairly expensive. So go ahead and do your work. And we are already 14th of April. We are catching up with the actual date, by the way. I think today is the 15th. Yeah. Day of recording, 15th of May. Okay, this back and forth is tractor driving out, then going back for the sprayer, driving out with the sprayer, going back for the agent, and then going ahead and, oh yeah, not enough staff, I know. We will have less staff in a minute. You're done. Okay, let's get rid of you, and let's get rid of you, and you're fired. And now the waiting game starts. It's like end of April, and we have 97 days to go. So let's do a quick calculation. Tells us almost everything. So we have created a field, we put down electricity. The electric line cost us 2,000, really? Okay. House for permanent employees, and that's it. That's our initial investment. I have to look at this figure here. I think I can tweak that further down, but that's for another test. So maybe this part I will skip, but let's say, or let's check how much everything has cost so far. Okay, I did the math, and with everything like seed, chemicals, fertilizer, and so on and so forth. Planting cost us 11,179 credits up until now. So I will show you the expenses, monthly wages, and so on and so forth. So you can do the calculation for yourself. Again, infrastructure like the house for permanent employees and so on and so forth doesn't count. It's just the revenue of the field, because everything else we need just to do our work. Yeah, infrastructure. So these are our expenses, and we actually have some quote-unquote income because we returned the leased equipment, so we got a few bucks back. It's not much, it's like 2,200 credits in total, but it's something. So, okay. And we haven't advanced, it's still the 19th of April. But now the waiting game begins, and while the game is running, we will need rain, and hopefully we don't get a drought or something like that. I had that. I had my farmhouse on fire during one test. During another test, I had my worker home on fire, which created additional cost. I had an extended drought, kind of everything. So, okay, and then don't rely on that number. We may get 7,960 kilograms of crop, but price is just wrong. These are normal prices, not extreme prices. You could argue to go for skills. So there is some training available. We could go for practical training in negotiation skills, 6,500. And then we could go for sales training for 2,500, which is 9,000 credits. Maybe worth a try, but I don't think that this really makes a difference, and it's 9 grand to invest, which I don't think we have. Okay, we have 40% of our starting capital still in our bank, and we only have to pay like 110 bucks a month for running costs. So should be easy. But yeah, let's wait. Maybe I will sum this up in a time lapse, so you don't have to sit it through with me for the whole time, because yeah, it's kind of boring. I understand that. So let's do a time lapse and see you when everything is ready for harvest. Okay, I stopped right here because you saw that the moisture level got lower and lower, and actually we are waiting for rain right now, and the crop is being damaged. And the yield, the estimated yield, is just fixed. So yeah. But in the end, this shouldn't do much, and you can go down almost all the way to 0. I hope you've noticed the notifications start about here, and yeah, it just disappeared, and then you can still go like 3 to 4 days without some sort of irrigation. So let's hope that's the only kind of drought until the harvest, and see you when we are ready. Okay, so we are 1 day away from harvest, so let me just show you something. And yes, you caught me tapping out once, but I wanted to check something, and I showed you the video memory usage after starting the game. This is the video memory usage right now. Okay, I'm kind of playing on maximum graphic setting. I will have to check, but interesting. To be honest, interesting. So, okay, we are ready for harvest. Don't start now. I will explain why. Disregard all the messages for now. We have the 29th of July. And I think 2 in-game days at the 27th we could have started harvest. So let's put down our silo and our parking lot, because we will need that. You noticed when I hired the worker, expenses, year, where is it? Monthly wages, year. The worker only got paid for the duration of employment. I'm not a native speaker, so again, my apologies. There definitely is a better phrase for that, but I hired the worker on the 1st or 2nd of April, and I released the worker around the 19th, so let's say 18 days of work, and this is the partial amount which he or she gets paid. when you go ahead at the end of the month and hire a worker, then she will get the salary starting from the 1st. So even though we could finish the harvest in like 3 days, as an example, and then release them all again, because we will need 2 workers, both workers would get full wages for the month of July. Don't do it. So yeah, wait for the 1st of August. And that's exactly what we are going to do. I built my silo, I built the parking lot, and yeah, it's 2 days to go, but and the same goes for equipment. It's like an installment plan. You pay for July, and then on the 1st of August you pay for August. So if you for some reason aren't finished on the 31st, then you will pay for 2 months, which increases costs massively. So okay, 22 grand in the bank, and let's see, equipment. We will take, let's see, chest trailer. Oh, this one only needs 100 horsepower. That's okay, I'll take it. Then 150. We will save what we can. But we need a combine. Forage harvester doesn't do. We need the Xena 13,750. That's expensive. And we need a header. You can't go for the big header, so we are going for the small one. It's 92, which is okay. And we need 2 workers. And again, we are going for the cheapest ones. 29 is a good candidate. Yeah. So you are hired. And I really don't care about staff happiness right now. It's just reducing costs in every way possible. So, and let's go to harvest. Oh, and you noticed we had some crop damage, but it wasn't that much. We got close once, but rain came in time, and I'm very thankful for that. So let's see what the result is. And okay, we can return that and return that and release you. And sell that, and release you. Why don't I collect the straw? Simple reason. I could go for the orchard tractor. It's 1,600 and 2,000. It's only 400 difference. But on the other hand, I would have needed the round press and the trailer as well. And most critical part is I would have needed a barn. And the barn is 12,000. I don't have that. I have that now, but this kind of removes all the capital to reseed the field for a second time this year. That's why I don't do it. And it says here, collect straw. you just go ahead and say barley and it starts all over again. I have the suspicion that the straw still remains on the field, so you just collect it later, but I have to test that in a specific environment, so that's not part of this video. Maybe I will do a tips and tricks video in the future, but which might include that, but this is about starting in extreme mode and wanting to do farming. Yeah, time to do the math. There's not much to sell here, and you see that the although we had a little damage, it says like 9,600 estimated yield. We got 6.4, which would mean that a third of the crop would have gone bad during the drought. I don't know. I'm not a farmer. But again, as I told you earlier, don't trust those estimates. They are just plainly wrong. And the prices are rock bottom right now, so we could get... It's 118. Let's wait a day or two before we sell it. But we can do the math for now because it doesn't change anything in the results. And here you see the monthly wages for the two workers, which are really low because I released them instantly. So yeah. Cost of maintaining buildings, parking lot, that's infrastructure. So harvest starts here. So let me put up my notepad again. And so from a cost perspective, we leased a chest trailer plus the tractor plus the combine plus the header, and we paid 286 and 373 in wages. That's 16,000 in costs. Let me put it there. And so what did we get so far? We got 58 back for the header, 8,600 for the combine, and something for the rest of the equipment, which amounts to 9,927. Okay, so let's do the whole year. Total costs are 29,836 credits, and you notice there was nothing left regarding fertilizer and chemicals, so my figures were correct, and there was nothing kind of ordered via emergency delivery, no extra cost involved, so we were really spot on. So with all costs included except infrastructure, we are close to 30,000 credits on the cost side. And now we have what we got so far as quote-unquote income. That sums up to 12,112, which gives us a a preliminary result of 36 minus 12. We have 17,724 still in costs. That's a lot. We are still in debt. And that's why I said there is no point in waiting for higher prices, because higher prices won't come. We could wait for slightly higher prices, so we would be selling at 1.18 right now. Let's say we would get 1.3 or even 1.35 for our crops. 5. This would amount or lead to 1,000 credits more for the whole harvest. So if this goes up by 1,000 or 1,500, which would be huge percentage-wise, doesn't really make a difference. So even if we deduct 8,700 credits, we would still be 9,000 credits short to break even. And this is why I mentioned, let's say, chemicals. This is 4,500. Let's put you all up. And so this is 8,100. Again, given unrealistic good prices, we would still be 9,000 credits short. And skipping fertilizing, which reduces yield, and chemicals, which will, every test I did without chemicals at some point led to some sort of infestation, and then you would have to hire a worker again, lease a tractor, lease a sprayer. So that's why I did it in the beginning, to have it to have it done and just forget about it. But in the end, again, we would be like 1,000 credits short. So even as we did everything correctly, we still end up losing money. And I know this is extreme mode, so extreme mode is like when the planets align and everything works well, and you're just perfect. Then you should make profit. That's my definition of extreme mode. But there is no point. Whatever I do, I end up having to carry losses. And I could go for maybe a bigger field. Now that I min-maxed everything, I could go for a full-size field, 52 by 52. Maybe that's worth a try, but I don't know if that really makes a difference, because it would just cost more. Let's say chemicals. I have the numbers right here. It's 271, and what's it? So chemicals alone, not 6939. So chemicals alone would cost 1,000 more. Barley would be we had 38. I think it's 47. Let's say 50. That's a guesstimate. It would be close to 10,000. Which would give us a slightly higher yield. But it's like 0.3 to 0.7, so 0.04 hectares of additional crop. Let's say it's 500 kilograms more, or let's say 550. Again, with the current prices, it's 1,000. So it's more or less even. You pay 1,000 more for field preparation and get 1,000 more in return. The work takes longer because the field is bigger and you have to pay more wages and so on. So in the end, it would be roughly the same. So yeah, that's actually what's kind of wrong with the game, because playing in extreme mode, which should be difficult and really hard to accomplish and requiring patience to expand and to grow your operation in general. Yeah, with farming, not possible. And I spent like, let's say 15 to 20 hours of normal gameplay, and then I tried extreme mode, and I'm currently around 46, 47 hours of gameplay. Yeah. And yeah, this is another hour of testing. And at the end of the video, I hope you stayed this long. Another highlight, which I find very annoying, especially for new players. Have a look at the message on the right side. Max field size. You can increase the field size by completing the relevant training. No, you can't. And this has been reported like ages ago. It's the farm building which increases field sizes. You can upgrade your farm building. It costs 10,000 for the first upgrade and 100,000 for the second upgrade, and only the farm building decides which maximum field size you actually have. This has been reported in the feedback thread over and over again, and this is not a developer bashing. The developers are working hard and they are pushing features and additional usability fine-tuning, like the free mode I'm explaining right here wasn't implemented in the original game. It was added later, so maybe this is why the error message is still there. But on the other hand, this should have been noticed in internal testing, for God's sake. I'm a professional IT nerd, yes, and I'm a bit rusty age-wise, but in my field of work, this would never have made it into production. So, okay, I'm not a software developer, I don't know how much effort it takes to change that, but it's not a crucial game mechanic, it's just a text for crying out loud, so this should not be a problem. Please fix that ASAP, especially for new players, which are then looking for relevant skills like, okay, where can I increase my field size once again? Is it machinery training? Is it labor law training? Is it the annual agricultural school increases quality and quantity of the harvest and they invest 100,000 credits and wait for 365 days and notice, no, wrong skill. Very frustrating. Remove that message, change it, make it correct. It's one of the very few tooltips we actually have in the game. Please change that. There are a lot of other issues the game still has. Like you only can move workers person by person, and then you have this camera panning around wildly. Same goes for parking lots and animal pens. So that's something you have to get used to. Naming and sorting by name doesn't actually work, which is very annoying when you have large operations. Yeah, but in the end, let me rephrase, the game is fun, the game is entertaining, it's pretty easy to play, so very well suited for the casual player. It's not a simulation, I know that, so the target audience is a very different one. So I have some 3,000 hours in another farming related game somewhere. So I know this is not a simulation, and I'm trying to be fair to the developers, but this is something that should be fixed soon. It requires some balancing. This is not an easy task, and this should not be rushed, but it should be addressed in a future update. And in the past week there were like 3-4 updates and hotfixes and additions in the game, so the developers are working very hard and react to the community. That's a definite plus. But yeah, in the end, farming is, in a general sense, a field, a tractor, a combine, and some person sitting on that combine and some person sitting on that tractor and having a good day. Yeah, so enough ranting for now. Go ahead, test it for yourself. I'm looking forward to your comments. Please like the video if you found this helpful. Drop a comment what you would like to see me feature in Farm Manager 2021. I know I rarely post videos because I've got a lot of work, real life work on my desk right now, but I'm looking forward to your comments. Like and share the video, maybe drop a subscription, and yeah, well, see you next time. Bye!